Welcome to Shiva's Guide for Ravenous Gorge. This is a 3-man instance for level 65. And going into this, it is not a rundown of each individual attack of every encounter. It's really an overview of all of the mechanics that you will be experiencing in a dungeon. So in front of me, you're going to notice there are some purple flowers here. They'll be known as herbs. In the opposite corner, you will see there is a white corpse. It's a lamb corpse. Fascinating, I know. And that is called a sacrifice. And then in another side of the room, there is a banana tree. These are, you can see the sacrifice right there and the banana trees. These are important for a mechanic when he goes to the center of the room. He is going to call out which one he is going towards, and you need to break those. As soon as every fight starts, you'll notice the blue shield icon underneath their HP bar. Healers need to dispel that first thing as soon as the bosses show up. He's running towards the herbs, so it's very important that you destroy these. If it was a sacrifice, we would go to the white carcass. If it was the bananas, we would go to the banana trees and destroy each one, and he will fall. You'll get some free DPS time here. For ranged, it's usually a good idea to stay close. You can dodge his stomps and things a little easier. Those red circles can do a lot of damage and really hurt you. And a bird will come out, a spirit bird, when it says fresh meat. His eye will glow red and he'll do a dive. Following that, he'll do a couple of beak smashes. So after he's landed, try to get away from him so that you're not taking too much extra damage as he's attacking you. The final mechanic and the single most important one of this first encounter is going to be, he will say, here are my little friends, and he's going to summon a group of sloths. During this phase, you will notice that you have a debuff, you cannot be healed. You will see 3 sloths are talking. Those are the only ones that need to die. For each sloth you kill that is not talking, your group will take damage that cannot be healed. If you don't kill a talking one, unfortunately, you're going to take a lot of damage and most likely die. So just kill the ones that are talking and you'll be just fine. You'll be able to get through this encounter and drop this boss and be able to move on to the second boss. The second boss to this encounter is similar to the lizard type creatures with the flower tails that we have seen in Crucible of Flame. So that'll kind of get the fight started. I find that it's much easier than the first boss as there aren't many white mechanics throughout this fight. And one thing to be aware of is a particular attack where he is going to throw bombs around him in a circle. And after the bombs go off, he does a giant smash. And as you see, it just killed a DPS. That can happen quite frequently if you get hit by that smash. The next mechanic that is going to come up is going to be these pods that come up around the room. You really don't have to worry about the pods too much. They just sort of move you and interrupt your casting. So just destroy the ones that are around you as opposed to going around the room and destroying all of them. You really don't need to worry about them much. They don't move, they just stand in place. Next, you will see that it talks about playing with your food. Another spirit bird is going to come out. It will once again, I will flash red, and it will do a dive. You want to avoid that. And this time he's going to do a wing flap, which does some decent damage. So just be aware of that. And after he's fallen, just stay away from the bird as he can just cause some headaches. This is the most important mechanic of this fight. He's going to say take cover. There are rocks around the room and you want to go behind those. He's only targeting the person with the blue circle and he'll run into the rock and smash it and fall down. If you are in front of the rock with the person in the blue circle, you will still go ahead and get killed. So it's really important that you go ahead and stay out of his line of sight or his path as he's heading towards that person who has a blue circle and make sure that they're behind a rock. For the last boss, you will see there are 3 crystals. There's a divine, which is a healer. There's a shielding, which is a tank, and an arcane, which is a DPS. Depending on your group comp, you'll go ahead and break 2 of them and get the assistance that will help your particular party the most. So my group is broken the tank and DPS, as I am the healer in this run. So as I said with healers, it's very important that you dispel at the beginning. You can see underneath the HP bar once again is that shield with the blue border. It's really important to dispel that because it prevents a lot of damage. It's just a nice buff that the mob has. And if you have a healer, that's a nice advantage. He will do something where he summons nature's energy, and you'll see a blinking green symbol underneath his HP bar. You want to stun him at this point, otherwise he will grow stronger and do more damage. The next mechanic that you're going to see here is his skin will grow empowered, and that will be the trigger for your healer to remove that shield once again, as he will get that back. When the boss cries out, you will see that there is an egg in the back of the room. There's a total of 3 of them. It's really important to break these down as they will summon ads. They're pretty nasty. They debuff you and just make the experience quite unpleasant. So get rid of those as quickly as you can. And the next thing you're going to see is the dive is back. This is a real bird that will dive at you for real. His eye will glow red, and you want to go ahead and dodge that. Next, you will see when he calls the storm, you will want to stand in these circles in order to avoid taking the giant room-wide damage, as this is going to kill you, so definitely avoid that. Just because it's so important, I'm going to go ahead and show it to you a second time. He's going to call a storm. You want to get into a circle and wait for him to cast the storm. And at that point, you will be safe. So those are the mechanics for Ravenous Gorge. I hope to see you next time for my guide on Bathysmal Rise. Thank you for watching.